So, Martin, I know you expect that OPEC Plus is going to decide to hold production steady in January. Why?
Yeah, that is cool. Look, it's basically the default choice after you've excluded the other two choices, which are either to continue with the current trajectory of increasing output, which is the existing agreement as it is, or the other scenario is cutting output. Now, increasing output, given the uncertainty that exists around the Omicron variant, probably would not be appropriate. There's quite a bit of uncertainty about what it will really do to oil demand. OPEC's own supply-demand balances show a distinct weakening in the first quarter. So with that in mind, continuing simply with the path that OPEC is on and leaving the autopilot on, so to say, is probably not appropriate given the heightened level of uncertainty. But the other extreme outcome would be to actually implement an additional production cut. But the problem with that is that it's very hard to create consensus around that. And secondly, it would carry quite a lot of negative signaling value. I think the market will say, hey, what is OPEC really seeing there? And the market reaction to an actual cut could be surprisingly negative. So I think given the uncertainty, just keeping it flat seems to be the most appropriate course of action.
Yeah, I wonder, do we see any evidence that Omicron is actually affecting the market beyond, beyond the trade in, speculation, beyond media headlines? I mean, we're making a huge deal of it, right? But does anyone really say, I don't want to buy an iPhone because of Omicron? Does anybody really say, I'm not going to drive to my mom's house because of Omicron? Does it really affect consumer behavior?
Look, I think by now you have to be a little bit skeptical about this. The market is not taking this view. The market is trading as if this will lead to a very large amount of demand erosion in the early part of next year. But look, the sort of willingness of governments to put people into lockdowns has much diminished over the last sort of 12, 18 months. And then on top of that, people's willingness to then comply with these such very stringent rules is also increasingly running into popular resistance. So our thinking is that, sure, jet fuel could be impacted when planes don't fly. But outside of jet fuel, the impact will be much diminished.